G'day guys. So I did a video on the 22nd of May asking the question, is it still safe to live in Melbourne? I've lived in Melbourne all my life and I've always felt very safe, but over the past few years I've felt more and more unsafe, or that Melbourne's become a lot more dangerous. And in the video that I did on the 22nd, I showed you a highlight reel of attacks that young kids have been doing with machetes, either armed robberies or breaking into homes or stealing cars and so on. And I asked the question, how can we stop it? And I think we have to do something drastic, because otherwise it's just going to go on and on and on and on. So these two clips I'm about to show you have happened in Melbourne in the past 48 hours, and it's just the same thing over and over again. Last time I had a massive response in comments, which I really appreciate. So if you want to add your own comments to this video, please go ahead and do so. So we've got to do something. We've got to stop this somehow.
Good evening. A family in Melbourne's northwest has been left traumatised by thieves armed with machetes, robbing them as they slept. The gang have been stalking the streets, entering the home through a laundry door, stealing a luxury car, house keys, jewellery and a laptop.
Stalking a family home, weapons in hand, inside the house, a husband and wife with their two young boys, about to be robbed.
After realizing that what they had in their arms and what their intention was, we were terrified actually. It's nothing less than terror.
The family car stolen, along with house keys, a laptop, a smartwatch and precious jewellery, but that's not what worries Hina Darby and her family most.
Anybody could have got hurt, really bad actually. We could have ended up in hospital, or our children could have lost their parents.
A terrifying confrontation with the intruders and their blades was avoided as they entered through the laundry door and raided the ground floor. The family slept upstairs.
It was a blessing in disguise, or somebody watching over us, or maybe our kids' love that didn't let us wake up.
Police recovered the car later in the morning, more than half an hour away in Layla. They're still hunting for the burglars, who also tried their luck at other homes where locked doors turned them away. Even with security cameras at Hina's house, as well as those surrounding it, the armed thieves weren't put off. The family thinks there needs to be tougher laws when it comes to weapon controls, as well as harsher penalties.
We can provide all education and everything, but they have to face the consequences that what they have done.
This family left traumatised and concerned the next victims might be physically hurt as well. Rory Campbell, 7 News.
Good evening. A Melbourne mother has been thrown from her car by machete-wielding teenagers in a terrifying carjacking in the city's west. The armed trio struck as she was parked outside a friend's home in the middle of the afternoon.
A mother of two waits in her car for a friend to come home. Unaware, three boys are creeping up behind her. They open her doors. One thug pulls out a long blade. They wanted her Lexus. The victim later saying she was desperate they didn't find out where she lives.
He had such big machete and he said, I'm going to kill you. I was literally thinking, either I'm going to get killed or I'm going to get raped.
Then a scuffle in the car as they tried to drag her out.
I gave up my fight. I just took my phone and they just threw me out of the car.
30 seconds after it began on Thursday afternoon, she's alone in the street in Williams Landing. She called police and her friend arrived home.
She is very scared. She is crying. That's why we also are very scared.
We have moved to Australia because in the world, I listen like Australia is safe. Now we are looking, it's not safe.
Minutes before the carjacking, the trio was a street away.
They were very casually hunting around for the cars.
One boy grabbed a rock from a front yard and threw it at a passing car. Thought to be an attempt to make it stop so they could steal it. 3.5 hours later, police found the car at Water Gardens Shopping Centre and arrested three boys aged 15 and 17 from Melton, all now charged with aggravated carjacking.
If you are robbing someone with a weapon, you should be treated not as a child.
Paul Dowsley, 7 News.